Yay, I see the file. Yeah, so I'm back in Satisfactory because this has been a kind of weird, fairly busy week for me, and it's like, I don't feel like going to Dark Side. Plus, there actually was an update to the game that I can show what when the things... Actually, I don't need to go over there, although I have done a lot over there. I have stuff over here. So yeah, just this is Satisfactory, and remember these things, the awesome sinks, where you can send the stuff you don't need in there? Well, we have finally gotten the things so many people have wanted, even without those, some people would have wanted these. See, this is a smart splitter. We've had these for a while. And they're just, well, those are mergers. So, here's a normal splitter. Something goes in here, and it will be divided up between these three outputs. I'm not sure why the performance was dipping there, but anyway. And it would typically be divided evenly, though you could do funny stuff to try to have it weight to one or the other, like having that be a faster conveyor belt than that would see this one get more than that. And you can even see how they move at different speed. Well, what Coffee Stain Studios have finally done is they've added to the smart splitters and the programmable splitters, but I don't have those unlocked to know when they need them, an overflow option. So you can set it to overflow and then it won't divide them. Now, let me actually see. Can I? Yeah, why not? If I do that, it will no longer send any this way. It will only send them in there. So this way, I don't have to worry about any being wasted, being sent to an awesome sink when they shouldn't be. Now, to make a smart splitter, you need reinforced plate. That's what the first one is. 2 reinforced plate, 2 rotors, and an AI limiter. Now, reinforced plate is being made over there, and that's basically full. I don't use reinforced plate for much, so yeah, not a problem. Way over there is where I got the rotors being made. But AI limiter. Well, if we look that up, and I do have other news to talk about, by the way, I'm talking about this first. This is how you make it. You need the copper sheets and quick wire. Well, I got some quick wire stuff set up over there, but there's no copper. That's all set up for making computers. And this Caterium, that's what quick wire is made from. Have a source over there, and actually you can see it's right down there. I'm right over here. We can hide that. So I decided I'm going to set up, because I got copper sources right here, set it up so that it would send the it makes it straight to quick wire over there, all the way over here, which you can see what I got set up over there, as well as an awesome sink, which I actually do want to show something that I did there, to here. And I will cover all that shortly, but I first want to cover over here. And also start looking at what news I have written up here. So there's the EK Expo I want to talk about, and hopefully later today, because this is time travel, hopefully I will have a fuller write-up on it. Some AMD news, and also EA titles coming to Steam. So, depending on how long you've been doing... The heck? How long you've been doing the PC game... Oh, I never set these up. Realize that. Those were the last 2 I added. So, yeah, I could tell because all the machines have poles like that on there. So this one is yellow. And just one green, that's like it didn't have an ingot to work on. So yellow is I'm paused, I can't do anything. Green is I'm working. Red is something's wrong. But anyway, going back to the EA thing, yeah, they have put 25 titles in a first wave onto Steam, which, as I was saying, those of you that have been around PC gaming long enough may remember. Ah, jeez, what was this? Was it around Dragon Age 2 releasing? Which is one of the games. That basically EA and Valve got into a little bit of a tiff. Oh, I can get rid of those. Because... Oh, no, I can't. It's not done yet. Wow. Because I think the generally accepted explanation, though it's not known for sure, this is old Quickwire that I had made, and I'm just getting rid of it into those two. And the reason why I have it split is because this conveyor belt can only do 480 resources per minute. So by doing 2, that's 960 that can go per minute, and these are in stacks of 500. I mean, there's over 13,500 in there. It helps. Anyway, so the explanation I remember seeing, but it may not have been true, was that EA was putting in-game purchases in some of their games. So it's like you could purchase the DLC for a game within the game. Well, this was, according to the theory, in violation of Steam's terms of service, where basically if there's a purchase, it has to be possible to do it through Steam. It might have actually required that it be done through Steam, so that way Valve could get a cut of the sale, which isn't necessarily inappropriate, but it is, for some, definitely an issue. And EA decided, instead of setting all that up, to just pull some games, not all, but some, and make Origin. Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure Crysis 2 was a game they pulled, but they put it back as the Maximum Edition, because that had that had all the DLC in there, so it wasn't really an issue. And there have been some EA games that have come to Steam, but largely you weren't seeing much. Well, it looks like that's changing. I mean, it was a big deal when Jedi Fallen Order... That was earlier this year, wasn't it? This has been a weird year. But that coming to Steam was a big deal, and now we've got 25 games that have been added to it. Crysis 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, Mirror's Edge Catalyst are 3 of them that I'm personally kind of interested in. Like, I'd like to play all 3 of those. And they're also all on sale. All 3 of those are on sale at the moment. This looks weird, but there's a reason. That, how I mentioned over there, the whole, there's a limit to how many this conveyor belt can carry. Well, I'm producing 600 a minute, in theory. Not necessarily great, though, because these aren't all going at max. I probably should, actually, shorten this up. That's the one issue with manifolds, that they can be unbalanced and not as productive, but theoretically there would be 600 going out, so these would be a problem. So I just have 300, 300 in these two going to smart splitters with overflows going, being merged together here to be destroyed, while the rest are merged here. So it's basically this will cap out at 480, and whatever is left will go there instead of stalling anything. Not ideal. I really should just set up aluminum, because at 5 you get 780 would cover the 6. But anyway, going back to the EA thing. Yeah, so it's kind of a big deal, and I haven't decided yet if I want to pick up any of the games while they're on sale. It's just I really don't need to be spending money at the moment. Plus, I wouldn't be able to play the games for a while. I've got so many other things I need to do. But also, from EA, the Command & Conquer Remastered Collection, which is Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert, so the first 2 games, and their expansions, has launched, and that is also now on... Well, it is launched on both Origin and Steam. So if you remember those games, you can go... get it, and I think it's $20. I think that's what I saw it was. Which I'm a little tempted by, but these have been rebuilt with... Oh, yeah, this is another feature that they added, so it's telling us autosave is coming up, because you can either watch that or watch... There we go. Every time it autosaves, it pauses, which is why they threw that in there. So oh, it didn't crash, it's just doing this. But yeah, with the Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert. They've been remastered, so 4K visuals, improved UI, several new features, improved multiplayer, mod support, that's right. And along with that, they actually released a source code that on GitHub under the GPL3 license for the original Command & Conquer, which is pretty neat and definitely going to help people with making mods. When I briefly looked at it, it didn't look like there were any assets there, which makes sense. Just code, but that's still something that could be helpful for many. Let me see, what else was there? There's also some stuff for GOG, which it will still be going on. If you are interested in Total Annihilation, another RTS game, not as old as either of those Command & Conquer games, but it at this point would be considered a classic, is actually free on GOG at the moment for 48 hours. Well, by the time this comes out, 24 hours. Because it ends June 7th, so Sunday. I grabbed that. I got Supreme Commander 2 when that came out so many years ago and played that, and I enjoyed it. But the Supreme Commander series is like the spiritual successor to Total Annihilation, so yeah, I am curious. And both Supreme Commander 1 and 2 are on GOG as well now, and also both on sale for $3.99 for Supreme Commander 1 and $3.74 for Supreme Commander 2. How I'm actually remembering this, I don't know, because I am so tired. I've still been working on... I talked about it last week, still been working on the rewriting of the statistics and scripts article because I've updated the scripts, and I've been making some more changes to the scripts as well. But one change, oh, it is such a nice change. It turns out, I just never thought to check before. Thought of it, though, and looked, yeah, you can actually, R is able to import and export with the reader library, the read underscore CSV and write underscore CSV functions, is actually able to work with compressed files. So, like for that article, all the data that I work with is 331 meg. Compressed, it's 23. And it's able to write it compressed and read from the compressed file too. Yeah, it's slower, but that's better than 10 to 1. I'll take that for the 40 seconds it was to compress it, which would only happen once. And the 17 seconds to read it, which that would happen every time I try to open the thing. So yeah, I'm so happy to discover it. Alright, moving on. Oh yeah, there was another thing with GOG. They've added to their free games collection. So just when you have a GOG account, you can go in there and, there's just a collection of free games that you can get. Where it's like, yeah, it's free, just, add it to your library, have fun. They added three games there, and I don't remember all their names. One is an action-adventure game, one is an RTS, and one is an indie adventure game. So I'm going to start heading over there, so I'm just going to stand on this. Get carried. What else? I got the AMD stuff here. What I want to talk about first, though, is the EK stuff. So, because of the global pandemic, various conventions, E3, Computex, and such have been delayed or canceled. And this would include ones where I'm just messing around a little bit, moving on the conveyor belt. Oh yeah, I can do that. Crap. Because of that, EK decided that they would hold their own expo. And that started on Tuesday, and it is actually wrapping up today, Saturday. Remember, I do these recordings on Fridays. And yeah, I have been trying to watch it, but I've been so busy working on that article and the scripts that I've missed some of it. I did see the keynote though from Tuesday. And some of the stuff has been interesting. Now, true, I haven't been able to pay the closest attention as I've been focused on the article, but I hadn't noticed anything specific for, hey, here's new stuff coming. It looks like, though, that may be Saturday. That because it's like what's cooking and the latest from EKs are two of the videos. Oh yeah, those are stopped because that's stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, because even though I don't do custom liquid cooling, I am still interested in it. It is an interesting technology, interesting approach to cooling, so I do look at it. Some things, though, that I have seen them talk about, one is so they've been doing videos, webinars that they show, and then a Q&A session, and some of the Q&A questions have been informative, like, I don't remember what parts in particular, but some people want there to be white versions of different cooling components, and basically, yes, those are being worked on, but it's basically figuring out the best way to do it so that it won't degrade performance or quality, and without being overly expensive. And yes, you can actually degrade quality by trying to make it white. You know, like, this is something, the white iPhones, I'm pretty sure part of the reason why those took so long, or traditionally take so long to be made, is because the white coloring can get damaged in the by the heat of production. I think that's the case. I might just be making that up. So, you know, obviously with Apple, no, they would never want the product to release with a visual defect. No company would. But I wouldn't be surprised if that is also the case for the possibility of, like, a white radiator from EK. They also talked about the Fluid Gaming line, which hopefully I understood all correctly, is changing. So you can get from EK various kits, which got everything you need in there to do a custom cooling loop. And they're not always that cheap, like $300. But they include everything, so that is a nice convenience for many people. And for a while, the lowest end was, as in the least expensive, was aluminum based. It was the Fluid Gaming kits, and they used aluminum. Which should be noted, you don't want to mix aluminum and copper in a loop unless you have the right anti-corrosive additives. The thing is, you're basically not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to mix that quite correctly. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. But I mean, you do see mixed metal coolers all the time. That's what AIOs mostly are. It's a copper cold plate, but it's an aluminum radiator. So but that's sealed. They can get the mixture right so that there won't be any damage from the copper ions in the water eating away at the aluminum. They can avoid it. So yeah, but they did say that, yeah, well, that is coming to an end. There will be another GPU block coming, and it sounded like that they did want to do something for those that are going to have the legacy components in their system, and it's like, how can we upgrade that? They do want to do something for those people. Fluid Gaming isn't going away, though, but it's going to be now for the PCs. So you can already do this, I want to say. Buy some pre-built PCs that have the EK cooling system already installed. That's what Fluid Gaming will become. And it sounded like, yeah, they will still use the aluminum components, but there's nothing wrong with that. See, some people want to associate aluminum as being bad. It's like, well, okay, yeah, copper technically does have a higher thermal conductivity than aluminum, but the actual difference in practice may only be like 1 or 2 degrees, which for most people, no one's going to care. It's like that's not going to noticeably hurt your performance or longevity. But also lets it be cheaper, which that people will notice. Yeah, because aluminum is a cheaper material, and it's also a lot easier to work with. Like machining it and such, So yeah, it will be interesting to see what comes. And one of the videos for Saturday is Fluid Gaming PCs. They'll probably talk more about that and answer questions in the Q&A right after. Which, that is one thing. Definitely have to give them props for that. That it looks like after basically every single one of these videos that come out, they do a Q&A session. Definitely need to see that. And this is all open to the public, by the way. Yes, I do have PR connection with EK. That's how I initially learned of the expo. But it's not like I get. Well, there are some things I might be able to get access to that you guys can't, but that the general public can't. But it's by and large for this stuff. No, if you want to, like, you can watch these webinars, you can watch these Q&As, and you can. Well, true. There's not going to be much time since they're ending it a few hours after this video comes out. But it still is. You can engage and ask questions as well, and hopefully they'll answer them. I will admit I would like it if there were more of, like, here's a new product that's coming announcements doing this. Those might be tomorrow. A lot of it seems to be still very informative, but it's. I'm just, if they do it again, and I kind of hope they do. I think that they're doing a good job of it. Just, there's probably some things they could learn and do better, but they're doing a pretty good job, I think. So hopefully they'll do it again, and then, like, next year, hopefully more people will be able to watch it too. We'll know to watch and choose to. Yeah, custom liquid cooling is kind of a niche thing. I can't decide how to pronounce that. But it's still a neat technology to be aware of, because there are certain aspects to it that do impact other things. Like just how all-in-ones work and what will help one all-in-one be better than another, things like that. So yeah, hopefully there will be some neat announcements tomorrow that I will write up, and because it is also my hope to write something up that covers the whole thing, because I did take notes during the keynote and some other stuff, but it's just I have been busy. It's like this has been Satisfactory has been the game I've gone to when it's like, okay, I need a break from writing. Or, like, I'll play this, have a podcast or something, and listen to it. Alright, so the other bit of news that I have concerns AMD, because two things happened this week. One is there was the Bank of America teleconference thing, which is basically people from various companies, I assume it's various companies, I only saw stuff for AMD, but regardless, will report on, what is coming, things like that, so that investors know and, can properly invest or divest themselves if they choose to. And some of the things that was said were that the probably the key thing for a lot of people is that RDNA 2. Oh, I know. The first RDNA 2 based products will be GPUs, as in the consoles, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 that are launching in holiday. Those won't be first. There will be something before them. We don't know when, but because holiday, you typically expect that to start around in November. That means that we could see RDNA 2 based GPUs prior to that. Some are speculating that AMD might be trying to hit the Cyberpunk 2077 release, because that is going to be a big title that has ray tracing support, and I don't remember if CD Projekt Red, the developers, if they have a much relationship with AMD. I know they do have something of one with Nvidia, but that also, the whole Witcher 3 Hairworks thing may have strained that. But I want to say that they have been working with Nvidia for ray tracing, so, but it would still be a very good release to have for both companies, being like, hey, here's new GPUs with new ray tracing in there. Because some also expect NVIDIA may try to launch the Ampere-based RTX 3000 series GPUs then. We'll see. We'll just have to see. Hopefully I will be able to get a key for that one way or another. I might also just buy a key for the Cyberpunk. Of course, I will also need to figure out, do I do a review playthrough? I would like to. It's just the whole, this is going to be a very mature game. I'll figure something out. I actually do have an idea for something. I've tried it, but that isn't, we'll see how that goes. What else? Oh yeah, so there was that with the AMD news. There was also, though, oh yeah, and AMD did also say the quote-unquote Big Navi will be a Halo product, which is I mean, really, that AMD is going to have a Halo product. That's what's important. So what is a Halo product? A Halo product would be the NVIDIA Titans. So these are the very top of the stack products that are the most expensive products and are also the most performance. But they're also like ridiculously expensive. I mean, think about it. The original Titan was part of the Kepler series, so the 700 series. It beat the 780 Ti, but I want to say it wasn't by that much. But it was like $200 more expensive. The original Titan was $1,000. What was the 780 Ti price tag? I remember some of this stuff, but not all of it. But it's basically, yes, they are more powerful, but you're paying, like $100, $200, $300 more or more for like, a 5% gain in some cases. But still, as having the Halo product, it's important because it does have an impact on people. Like, oh, they have the fastest GPU in the world, kind of thing. And that's what it is. So having the Halo product, AMD finally having one, is going to be important. And we'll just have to see how it competes, as well as, well, not just in terms of performance, but also price. I'm personally interested in price because I've been open with the fact I would like to upgrade to an RDNA 2 GPU when they come out, put that in the desktop, but it's like, I can't afford a whole lot. I know basically what performance I would be looking for though, so hopefully I will be able to get that and not have to spend too much. We'll just see. The other thing that I did try to put into the news item I brought up, covering this AMD news as well as the EK stuff. My hope is to do another EK thing just on EK. Someone was wondering. I already explained that, I'm just clarifying. Is that there's been a Linux patch that it looks like, this is thanks to Phoronix, they covered it. It looks like it's like enablement stuff for a new GPU with the codename of Sienna Chili. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's apparently some kind of fish. But this is a codename nobody has seen before, which apparently is also not surprising because one of the AMD Linux team members actually stated, the codename came from script. So it had also been stated previously that they wanted to move away from having code names that meant anything in marketing because it gets confusing. Like, there was the Vega 64 and Vega 56 graphics cards, but there was the Vega 10 die, the Vega 11 die, and so forth. And there was also like a Vega 11 where it had 11 computing. It got so confusing. They want to avoid that. And this script to generate code names, I think, is helping with that. So, but it looks like, based on what was in the patch, Phoronix was saying it looks like this is an RDNA 2 die. It also will have VCN 3.0, so that's video coding engine. No, video coding next. Hopefully improved video encoding capabilities. Also DCN3, I think that was it, which is the display engine in the GPU. So that's, oh, this actually finished. I was actually hoping to just grab some to fill out the storage, so that there's more for the production of the AI limiters, which I have set up in a tower there. So yeah, we don't know what that code name is. Could that be Big Navi? Could that be Medium Navi? Could it be Little Navi? Which also, that reminds me, one of the other things stated at that conference thing was that RDNA 2 will be the whole product, will be used for the entire product stack, which is important because there had been speculation, including by me, that we may see RDNA 1, the current Navi GPUs, refreshed for the bottom of the stack. But this, it was saying no, from mainstream all the way up to the Halo. Well, yeah, mainstream up, you will see RDNA 2. The Halo product would obviously also be RDNA 2. So yeah, that is a big deal, because hopefully that also means then that it will be the case that AMD will have their fixed function ray tracing support in the entire stack. Because if they do that, that's going to be a big deal. Of course, NVIDIA might do the same, which, you know, will make it not as big a deal. But it still is a... being able to say that, yes, we have an entire product stack of... that provides fixed function ray tracing acceleration, that is important. That is significant. At least to me, I consider that important, because that means it doesn't matter what the GPU is, you install it, at some level you can enable ray tracing. We'll just have to see, and it'll probably be months. Especially because Phoronix pointed out, yeah, at the timing of this patch, it won't make it into the 5.8 kernel. Pretty sure it was kernel. But 5.9, which that will be really stable probably sometime in October. Which might be the release window for the new RDNA 2 GPUs. Or it might not be, because AMD is important to Linux is important to AMD, but there are ways to install stuff ahead of official enablement, so yeah. We will just have to wait and see. Alright, that covers all that, so I can start talking more about what I've got here. So, with the refineries, which are those things, we got several recipes that will at least be more efficient. In some cases they are also faster for making things such as copper ingots. I want to say the copper ingot recipe is actually one of the better ones. Well, sort of. Instead of it being to 1-to-1, you got 6-to-15. So that's almost 3-to-1. And it's a little bit faster, 37.5 per minute instead of 30 per minute. Caterium, it's actually a little bit slower, but it's 2-to-1 instead of 3-to-1. Iron can go from 30 to 65, so that's a lot faster. And that is actually what I have set up over here for the heavy modular. Oh yeah, that's right. There's also, though, the wet concrete, which 3-to-1 becomes 6-to-4, which that's a better ratio, but also from 15 to 80 per minute. And that's what these right here are gonna do. So I've got 4 here because they can both, one handles 120 input a minute. That's 240 and that's 240 coming in here. So I got 480 coming in. That's in split between these. Now they do also need each 100 water per minute, which the water pumps down there can do up to 120. So it's like, that's not a problem. I just need 4 to cover 400 water per minute. The problem is that the pipes only handle 300, flow rate of 300, which is why max flow rate of 300, which is why I have to have 2 going up and also pumps, just because this is too high for the water to flow naturally. Hopefully this is actually working. It might not be technically. It's stalled because I don't have any more storage. But it's possible, though, that flow rate isn't going to quite work. That I'd need to hook this up down there and then have it come up. Anyway, that's for concrete, which is the basic building material. Over here we got copper. It's coming up and being processing into ingots along this line and that line. These are 2 separate lines. One is going into this tower. The down is over here, because I don't want to just fall and take damage. So this one produces cable, which is that stuff that you need for connecting power sources to whatever's using them. and also copper wire. You need copper wire to make cable, so that's why they are together in here. And each floor is another setup. Then over here we got the copper sheets being produced. And each floor is again another a constructor working on it. And I need to do something because it is slow. And copper sheets will go off that way to be stored, as well as some of the quick wire, because both the copper sheets and quick wire are split, so they can also go into here, which is where the AI limiters will be made, so that I can, because like before I didn't really care about the AI limiters, but now it's like, oh, I need them for smart splitters. I need them. So that's what this is working on. And there's another one there. Oh, I actually do have 3. And I might try to make more. The only thing is that, like, this will get the first batch of copper, and it's going kind of slow. So I need to work more on the copper sheets right here. This is actually the main thing when you're just trying to relax from all the work. This is the main place I've been working. Oh, I actually did do one other thing, though. That, I redid the coal power stuff. Just moved some things over so that now the water pumps are in a line. So that's, over there. It's actually funny, I kind of killed the power because, I forgot to hook up the water pumps. So suddenly the coal wasn't able to provide enough power and everything shut down, so I needed to do some temporary disconnecting to get things working. But, yeah. And at some point I may set up some more of the awesome sinks so that I can, keep production going. Oh yeah, I actually did set them up here, that's right, I forgot. Because the nice thing with the overflow and the, awesome sinks is you can have it set up so that things just continuously produce. Yes, that does use more power. I have one over here, don't I? Thought I did. No, it's... but it's like right now I'm good on power, and I can... At some point I'll invest the time to build out and connect all the geothermals. But yeah, so it's... Right now this is set up so it's getting motors, stators, and rotors, which should actually return a decent amount of tickets. It's just, you know, need to wait on that stuff. But yeah, so currently I've got 38, and it varies, but you know, smallest there was around 80,000, so 80,000 per minute isn't bad. And at 38 tickets, who knows? And I've got some in a box too, so hopefully it won't be long before I can start buying some of the statues. Because it doesn't matter, but you still want them. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else from this week? New trailer showing off multiplayer for SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which I do want to review it. I know that's not like, you know, some really gonna be some really important, significant AAA game, but it's like, I figure I never played it originally. I don't care much of SpongeBob, but I know a lot of people do. A lot of people in my generation did care about it. So, hey, I could actually probably afford the Silver Hog. But I mean, realistically, you want to get into that. Oh yeah, they also did add this one, I want to say. They added this with a recent update. Which is nice. It is nice. Yeah, how many do I have? 22 in there. There'll be like 39 in here, right? No, still just 38. So yeah, I've got 60 between them. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I'm hoping I'll be able to review that, but regardless, it's still, you can check out the that multiplayer trailer to see what will be enabled for that, and it's both online and couch co-op, so split screen multiplayer. That it will support. THQ Nordic also put out an interactive trailer for Desperados 3. Codemasters put out 2 trailers for F1 2020. One is looking at Michael Schumacher's career with actual archive footage, as well as some in-game video showing the different cars, some of the different cars he raced to basically become currently the greatest F1 racer in history, with 7 world championships to his name. I'm trying to remember his name. There is a current racer though that could potentially tie that. Like, he has 6, he may be able to get 7. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry. So it's like, we may see that record broken, but it still is 7 championships is the current record held by Michael Schumacher. And F1 is now 70 years old this year, so it's like that's why they're talking about. That's why they are featuring that stuff in the game. Also, the Azerbaijan Baku City circuit its hot lap was shown, and it's like, is that the track I remember? Then I look and it's like, oh yeah, I remember this one. From previous games. I think one of them I actually used to collect performance data on. I don't remember, but it's like, yeah, I remember this one. That's one where one of the tips that you get in, was it 2019 or 2018? That braking when going straight, so before you get into a turn, is good because the brakes are more effective when going straight. So you do that turn and then you accelerate during the turn, you accelerate them. And that's like, circuit was like, yep, you keep that in mind, because there's some good straightaways in that, but also a lot of turns, because it does actually go through a city. So acceleration and braking is very, very important. What else was it? This, I'm trying to remember. Not everything. Oh yeah, Rock of Ages 3, the open beta is starting next week, I think, for PC, and the console open beta will be later. Both will be open for a week, and you can sign up at the Rock of Ages 3 website. I already talked about the GOG stuff. The next expansion of Gwent. So the card game from The Witcher 3 that CD Projekt Red made into its own separate game, Gwent. Its 5th expansion has been announced. That's all I got in memory at the moment. There might be other stuff. I'm honestly surprised I'm remembering as much as I am for being as tired as I am. Alright, how long have I been going? 43 minutes. I'm gonna stop now. I got nothing more really. It is, I want to rest and then get back to work. It's so much work. But it's worth it. It is worth it. The improvements I am making to my scripts are definitely helpful. Some of the stuff is really, really significant too. Like some of the stuff I put in there, it's so helpful. But it's it's stuff that won't influence well, no, some of it will definitely influence people, but like that compression thing that I talked about earlier, that's really nice. Because I've never really liked the whole, I'm doubling the amount of storage that's being used with the data, because I'm taking the CSVs and copying the contents into a new file. It's like, this is so much better. Yeah, lots of stuff coming with those scripts. I don't know if I can do a follow-up article or something going through, because covering the scripts is hard to do in HTML. I can do it in LaTeX pretty easily. That's what I've been doing. I don't know, I'll see if I can think of something, but I need to finish the work first. And to do that, I need to first stop this. So hopefully I will see you next week. It has been, I actually did consider not just not recording this week, but I said no, I should. I do it. I can make the time. This has definitely gone better than I thought it would. But yeah, so we'll see with next week. I would like to, but I got the cone stuff that's keeping me busy, and there's the possibility for new stuff coming up next week. Stuff that I've been wanting to do, but for reasons that it has been delayed. Hopefully that will be starting soon. But I don't know. It's dependent on many of them. Anyway. Yeah, nice little teaser there, but I really can't talk about that because that's, there's too many moving parts in that to talk about. Like the scripts and the article stuff that I can talk about. That doesn't matter so much. Although I will also say, one project that at some point I need to get back to. This work in those scripts, in the OCAT scripts, helping me there. I'm going to be rebuilding even more scripts, but those you don't. I don't know why I do this. Why I tease some of this stuff, because I really have no idea when I'll have any of it finished. That's just how it goes. Anyway, see you next time.